Okay, we're going to give this a try again. They've made a lot of changes by playing this over the last couple of days, just to even figure out what it is that I'm doing. So we're there as far as the gameplay and whatnot. At least I've figured out most of it. So we're going to start a new game from the beginning. This will be the third one that I've started. We're going to change some settings. Not going to worry about this. I don't know if this makes a difference or not, because before in this version, you would have a tech yard that you would use to modify your tech at, but that also had storage. And that storage, it was very limited, and then you'd have to build these modules to expand your storage. That would, this here, the player tech yard storage, doubling it, that would make sense then, but now that's just whatever you can put in there is infinite levels, so I don't even know if it's a thing or not. We're going to leave it. Enemy strength is going to be, but we're going to increase this a little, because I've been playing and there are not as many NPCs, bad guys in this, as there used to be. I don't know what the deal is, but we're going to increase that a little. We're going to set their drop to as fast or as high as it'll go, because getting blocks is very important, because the way it now works is you have to license the block, and if the block is not licensed, then if you lose your tech, or if you have to repair your tech, that block will not come back. So enemy drop rates, got to get a lot of blocks, it costs money, so that's what we'll do there. We're going to resources, we're going to put it to more, and then the structure power generation, we're going to double that or make it as max as we can. As far as this is concerned, we're not going to change any of the unlimited stuff. Power generation, we're going to make it faster. The auto repair, we're going to make it faster. We're going to give ourselves 6 charges. We can't really do anything here, because if you watch, it starts throwing warnings. They say that just 10% reactor capacity will actually cause an imbalance, and 25%. But then when you get to 50, it actually says that it can cause problems with the game. I'm going to leave it here, because one of the problems that people complain about with this game is build size. If you've ever played the original TerraTech, you could build these monster vehicles with all kinds of mods and things. I do that, and I even put some of the most advanced weird mods on my tech, just so that way when it invades somebody else's game, if they don't blow it all up, they will get those modules maybe faster than what they are supposed to. But with this one, each one of the cabs, you can only have one cab, and each one of the cabs has a reactor capacity. Now, before, you could go over the reactor capacity, and actually it would cause your tech to overheat, to the point that if you got it too hot, it would just melt down and just explode. But there are certain biomes, in particular the snow and ice biomes, that having an overheating reactor tech, when you go into that area, it would help control the heat. And the same with water, and the same with the swamps with the acid or the whatever goop it is that gets on your vehicle. It causes your healing, your repair to not work as it should. And there's even some biomes that are really hot. So increasing the tech capacity, at least to 25%, gives you a little more that you can build. Now, I like the smaller size of the techs in this, but it's still very limiting to that. So we're going to go ahead and increase this. Now, there used to be modules in the game that would increase your tech capacity, your reactor capacity, but I just don't know if they're here or not anymore. So we're going to go with this. I got it set to friends only. We're going to set it to invites only. in case somebody comes along and they want to give this a try with me, and then we'll just go from there. And I don't know the level of difficulty. Easy. I don't know what that means, but we'll see. There we go. We'll go through the intro here.
Welcome, Prospector. The Galactic Survey Organization congratulates you on joining the second expeditionary mission to the Nexus Cluster on the far frontier of known space. As a highly qualified specialist contractor, you join an elite team of private exoplanetary prospectors working to create a bright future for humanity amongst the stars. Your mission is to explore the Nexus worlds, identify sites of untapped potential, and establish forward operations to pave the way for human expansion. Utilizing the Terratech Modular Expeditionary Component System, you will scout alien worlds, secure territory, gather vital resources, and assemble infrastructure to lay the foundation for large-scale colonial operations. GSO, humanity's destiny is your opportunity. Attention, incoming
Here's the basic tutorial. Zoom in and out, use the camera, that sort of thing. They're going to have us assemble this very first tech. It's nothing to write home about, but with the changes that they have made, this is pretty effective for what it does. I don't care for it. And then just keep moving through and then here's a mining laser, and just what it looks like. And then it's WASD to drive, and then fire groups. Now, if you look in the lower left-hand corner, you have that little battery thing with the little bars. If the item takes power, weapons, modules that you have to activate, you only have so much that you can do until the battery runs out. Then once it does, you have to wait for it to recharge. Here's the cargo grid for the tech. And there's not much here. Here's the little indicator. It will actually show hostiles and the like, and so you can actually use the mining laser as a weapon. And you just pick all these up, and then we open it back up, and as we can see, we've got additional stuff. Now, I don't, when you try to drive this, when you go forward, you see that rocking. I don't care for that. So one of the things that you can do is you can just extend the back end a little. There we go. Now those wheels are bigger, as you can see. Pull this off. As you can see, the wheels have stats: speed, handling, acceleration, load, just what it sounds like. The reactor load is how much load the reactor takes. If you put this on, so right now if you look on the right hand side, you see over here, it says that we're using 114 out of 250. Normally this is nowhere near 250, but I increased it by 25%. So if we add this on, it'll increase it. It'll increase the load indicator by 12. And it increases the weight. We have no recharge modules. That's something that you have to add later. But again, these wheels, these are a little bit better, and I think they're even cooler, but they look, if you look, they're kind of discolored. I can't change that. That's a visual indicator. You see it looks like some sort of weird camouflage. And if you notice the modules here, they're highlighted, but this one's not. Actually, no, I'll take that back. Yes, it is. This wheel would not be. If you notice when you're looking at the stats for the wheel, it says licensed. That means that if this thing gets blown up and I have to respawn or get it repaired, those wheels will come back. So that's a plus. Also, they have cab crafting, which is really nice because the basic weapons use this light ammo. And before, you would have to actually go back to base and make your ammo. Now you can just carry the resources around to make ammo on your own. This sets weapon groups: left mouse, right mouse, the shift key, and the control key. Those are your groups. And then you have skins. These are just different things that you can do to repaint it. But right now I have modules on here that are not licensed, like this back piece and these two wheels. So I can't change the colors. So we're going to paint all, which is the shift. You see, only the modules that I have licensed I can paint. Okay. Anyway, that's just one of the changes that they made, which is what I was talking about with the keys themselves. Now I've got this because of I completed the first boss fight. That is the paint scheme that you get for that. Now these are patterns that you can go with as that. But anyway, like I said, that's called the Grasslands, and that's just because I defeated the very first boss monster at the boss fight. And it's actually really easy once you figure out the trick. And there's actually a module that you really need to pick up first before you go fight the bad guy. Here, it wants us to fire the gun. I like to put my guns in one and take the mining laser, put it in one as well, and leave it on two, because this way I can just fire the mining laser, or when I attack something, the mining laser will attack them as well. And it wants me, and then I have to go place this. Let me get over here. I like to build for some reason this is more or less the same spot. The map really hasn't changed, but I like to build here. This is your base module. If you look, this is where you can come to license. It's not letting me do that yet because there's an additional module that you have to get. The L key shows you the missions that you're going through, and that gives you money. And that money can be used to actually buy modules from merchants. That's a new thing that's in the game, as well as pay for licensing fees to license. Again, just shows the missions. This breaks it down into different categories. The Expedia thing, that's basically, it's all the modules that you've collected that you have licenses for. It shows the different parts. Now these, I don't have license for these. I thought I just showed that, but it's showing these as not licensed. Now down here, you'll notice that this particular module, that one, the wheel, has an alt that you can actually change the mod or change the wheel or the object itself. You can actually change it before you place it. Not all of the modules have that. Mostly just the build stuff. But it's one brick, but it has multiple options. And then here are the structure blocks. And again, this is a they call a bootstrap generator. It actually is really cool because it is just a basic generator that X a little bit of output and nothing else. Now you need to build bio furnaces and other power generation later, because as you add modules, you'll see this here. It takes 10 power units to run. This one takes 5. This generates, I don't know what it generates, to be honest with you. Now, I think it's only 60, but 60 is enough to run your a couple of basic modules as you're getting started. And then the Prospector Guide, real basic guide, if you will. One of the things that I did notice, though, is this screen here, based on the layout that we're looking at, that's from the game before they made the changes. So I don't know, take this as it is. it's still useful to read. But anyway, once you drive into the blue area, you can either hit the key to do the licensing or hit the tab. This shows your loadout. It shows the cab crafting and all the stuff that you can access using the tab key. But we can't do anything with these other than mount them to our tech. Oh, that was one of the things I was talking about earlier. Before, you could overheat. So as you see, I've got 250 max, but I'm using 144. Before, if you would go over that 250 limit, your tech would start to heat up, and you could keep going and keep going, and your tech would still work. It just would work badly. Now, if you go over this 250 limit, or whatever the reactor limit is for the cab, you can't even move. So you keep that in mind as you're moving along. Now, I'm going to take some of these, I'm going to put these on here, just because I kind of like the way that looks. But here's what I was talking about. You see, it's a side wheel, but I want to change it to where I can mount it to the back. So I hit Alt A and D, and it'll cycle through. Well, actually, it would if it was licensed. And that's one of the frustrating things about this version with the changes they've made in the game. If it's not licensed, it doesn't work. It doesn't work right. So there are certain things that you can't do, like change colors, rotate it to different things. So, like if I go here, now see, I've got to get a licensing module. So we just need to go find a dude to kill. That's our first active objective, the upper right corner. Just gonna drive over here. Pick up some resources while I'm doing it. Like I said, the techs aren't that impressive. Before, yeah, see over here that this thing's getting hammered. It's best to shoot at the cap. Now, one of the tricks that you could also do, let's get rid of this, is if you, no, I'm stuck. There's mud and different terrain hazards. The tires and the different movement systems will allow you to travel better. You can actually, these guys will actually repair themselves. He's already done it. But you can actually take and chase them and let them repair themselves and then break them again, and you get double the modules. There we go. You can tell when they're dead because that's an ammo block, and he dropped it. When the guy dies, he drops his ammo. You see, this is the water effect, and it actually affects your tech. We're gonna go back over here. Yeah, see, now it wants us to do a little mining. So yeah, we're gonna take all these modules. Oh, there's, yeah, bad guy. It's just a plant. There's even ones that shoot at you, different types of projectiles. Yeah, we need to go and get some stuff so we can, if the resource is mineable, it's like this thing is mineable, but you can also run it over the trees. You can mine up. Now, one of the things, we have our mining laser. If you watch, it says that the tree's at 100%. And if I start mining this tree at this point, it will go down and it will give me some resources. But every object has a line right there. You notice the tree's not going down, but it now broke. You can mine faster if you break the objects in the pieces, and you get more resources by doing that as well. This goes for rocks, trees, anything that you can hit with the mining lasers. See, that's going down pretty quick. Because there's no other pieces to it. And it'll say, I'm out of power, I gotta wait for it to regen. And now it'll drop it. And this here is the same way, I believe. yeah, there's no more pieces to it. So this is the part that you want to cut. And again, you see the moving across, it changes the sound when it hits that bar. Cutout point. And again, like I said, rocks do the same way. This is iron. Just start running across it right there. Let it break. Another one. See, these are breaking pretty fast. That tells you that there's no more pieces to it. These rocks go pretty deep, and you can actually deform the terrain. There's a module that you can get later that will actually let you change the terrain yourself. Up, down, whatever. See, this is moving so slow, but if you look, the whole thing is highlighted. So you run your laser over, there's a break spot right there. Now, you see that the pieces, this is still pretty good size. Another break spot. Right there. Side. Okay. That's what it looks like when you're cutting a break spot or a break line or whatever. I mean, I like playing games like this. First time I played TerraTech, I thought it was the greatest thing ever. Being able to custom build your own stuff. They have multiplayer in the original one, but it wasn't very good. It was janky at best, to be honest. This the multiplayer seems to be pretty solid. There's actually you can separate the different teams, bases, base building, that sort of thing. It's got it all. As a matter of fact, we're going to hit a base here in a second, but you can just make out the top right there. We're going to grab all the parts and pieces and use it to build our base instead of building and wasting resources ourselves. We're just going to grab all this. This will allow us to make ammo. And then, like I said, big rock. When I take this rock, you see it changes the ground. And if you notice my wheels, they look, and I'll be quiet for a second. You can kind of hear it. Sounds kind of squishy. That terrain is actually difficult to drive on. Now, right now, it's not that hard to get out of the hole. When you start climbing mountains and hills, yeah, the mud is everywhere. Oh, and especially when you go to a swamp, it gets even worse. Now, our objective is we need to craft a basic fabricator. So we hit the tab key, go to tab crafting, and basic fabricator. Left side, it shows it takes 10 iron. We have 111. It takes 20 organics. We have 133. Just click the button. Now, I'm not going to be able to get it because I don't have room. Okay. But if we go in, get rid of that. It's just debris. It's basic stuff. Useful later on because you can actually get modules and structures, workbenches, and like similar to like what you would have for Minecraft. And you can actually take the debris and actually convert it to other stuff, which comes in real handy. And anyway, here is basic fabricator. We're just going to stick it right next to our, we're going to rotate it if it will let us. There. it snapped to it. And now it's telling us that basic fabricator, put our power module next to it. Now again, this power module, it's producing 60 of 60. So it's constantly outputting 60 power, which is a lot because these machines don't take a lot to use. This one's on, it uses 10, but it's not using anything now because it's not making anything. So our next thing is it wants us to the bootstrap power generator. We've already done that, so it'll go through to the next objective. And here's the licensing module. This is the one that allows us to take and right here to take and license modules. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a second. And there it is. So we're just going on the back side here, and we're going to just stick it here on the back, just kind of out of the way. And now when we come back over here and hit the E key, now it says TechYard now supports block licensing. And hit the E key for block licensing, and you see on the tech, these are the modules that are not licensed, and then in cargo, these are the ones that are not licensed. I want to license this stuff. I want the tires, so I select those. It tells you how much. I want to get the gun, the braces, and the little arm. I also want the light. I want this because it is an axle. If some of the modules, if you look at the bottom of the axle, it says that it modifies +1. That symbol is for movement, and it says to directly connected blocks. So if you connect wheels to that, it will reduce how much it takes to run that wheel. So I want the axle. I don't want this because it takes a different type of ammunition that I cannot generate on the fly. Now I've got 2 wheels, but I've got 4 more. Let's see if I can grab all those. Yeah, I can do all that licensing for 361, and it'll change the status over here and over here as well. See, there you go. And then you can sell stuff. Basically, you can get money back. It doesn't get as much as you buy it for, but that's what it is. I don't know what the buy thing does, and I don't know what special does. I have not used those. So now we have those modules. One thing I want to build while we're here, I just want to grab the resources for it, is we want the block storage and the repair. They take lithium and iron, silicate and iron. I don't have enough lithium. That's what that is. Let's sort this out a little. We're only down to 226 rounds, so going to cab crafting, let's do, well, it's 20 per, let's do 25. You see it queuing up there in the corner. And then just close it, and it'll put the ammo into your cargo once it's done. So we need to get lithium. And right now we're really kind of slow. Again, the bigger wheels will allow us to go faster, whether it be boost modules. But again, the items you're looking for, I know that lithium can be found there. Don't want to stay here too long because you can see it shooting at us. Those are new. They were not here before. They were a surprise to me when I saw them. There used to be these trees. You'll see them here in a bit. These blue trees that would charge up and then arc, but they were murder to deal with. They've changed them to where it's just these little things now, and then the giant murder trees. But then you can also just get a module that you can attach to your tech that will allow you to deal with those. Need more lithium. Actually, I've made a mistake there. I should not have been shooting at that because that actually lowers the resources that you get. And we also needed some silicate. Silicate Lithium is that little blue sharking thing and the big murder trees. You actually have to get near the murder trees because of the fact that it's the only place you can find copper is at the base of those trees. But we're not going to deal with those yet because we just cannot handle it. All right, now we're looking for silicate, and silicate is in these really weird looking crystals. Stick up out of the ground, and here we go. This guy. See, we're sliding in the mud. So I killed the cab. Now I'm going to pick everything up. Now, if I had not killed the cab, I could have waited and he would have ran off and tried to repair his damage. But then you can go and kill him or shoot him again and get more blocks. So yeah, see those. See, here's another guy here. They will chase you for a little bit. They will not track you down. So you can, if you can outrun them, you can get away from them. You really have to be careful to start until you get that repair module built for your tech yard. But there's the crystals we're looking for over there. We don't need a lot, so we'll just grab some and we'll leave the rest. Again, everything's got these little cut lines. There's one right there. It'll break it. I think this will break into 3 pieces, which means it's more resources. Power. There's a cut line. And again, you only want to use the mining laser. Now you can actually run mining lasers as weapons, and I've done that on occasion until I realized the thing about the ammo, because the mining lasers, while they do damage and there is no ammo, it doesn't do a lot. Now, apparently I've got too much stuff on me, so we're going to take a look here. The organics, it's really one of those things you don't really need a lot of. Because running over a bush gives you organics. So now we have 31 silicate. I think that was enough. Now, if you look at the little thing on the head, the big blue bar there, or the, it's blue to me, points to your base. And if you look at the map and zoom out, because we're close to our base, it actually is not showing it, but around the outer edge, it would say tech yard, pointing to your base if you're far enough away from it. But you see it right there. It's a little wrenched. That's because it's on the map. Now that fist is a enemy base, and even when you play teams, if you have different teams, that would be different colors, different symbol, whatever. It would prevent us from going in and just murdering the base, blowing it up. You have to destroy. You can see it kind of off in the distance. We're going to go over there in a few minutes. That little emblem right there, there's a block. Break that block, and then you can loot the base. So it prevents people from just going in and just stealing resources and everything without taking the chance of getting murdered. Now, I haven't played multiplayer on this, so I don't know if there's things like base defenses, like turrets and stuff. I haven't seen anything like that. I know in the original TerraTech you could actually make base or sentry guns and the like. There's nothing like that here so far. They do have a energy weapon, I believe it was. Anyway, it was a weapon that auto-tracked targets. And if you actually have a target and you lock onto it, then the guns would actually auto-track that target. All right, let's see. We need the storage module. Again, I don't have the room for it, so what we'll do is we have room on our tech, so we're just going to take it and just dump some random stuff on the tech real quick. Kind of a cheap placeholder. And if you notice the things leaning to the right now, weight and like that, stuff like that do matter, do count in this game. If you are too heavy trying to going into certain areas, you just won't be able to do it. And now, there we go. Storage module. We'll put it over here on the back. This has to be touching. Well, okay. I don't know if it has to be touching. The original one did. It needed to be physically touching the I just put it on there. And again, you notice this uses 5 power. And we come over here, and now we have tech storage. Now this will only take things that are licensed. So that's one of the reasons why you want to license things. So let's grab all this garbage, get it off. That light. Now let's check licensing. Do we keep any of this? I like the way these look. I love those things. We'll grab that too. And we'll grab another and 2 more guns. License it all, and then we will just sell the rest. In the end, if you notice, these items are here. Hit the tab key, hold the shift key at the same time, and left click, and you can just automatically transfer that stuff to your tech storage. Now, we can make some changes to this thing. We have 2 more Zephyr wheels that we can replace. Yeah, let's go ahead and replace the wheels. You can actually see they physically change shape. There. One of the things I like to do is just something, and again, earlier, real quick, I talked about this. This has 2 different versions. This one has 2 different versions. Hold the Alt and the A and D, and you can cycle through it, and you can see it. Now it's changed. It's a side mount. Now it's a front mount. Change the shape of what you're looking at. Now, for this one, we're going to pull some of this stuff off. Let's remove the wheels. Let's get rid of this. This is an axle. If you look, this wheel, this is a Zephyr. It takes 14 power to mount a Zephyr. So if I pull this off, it's at 82, put it back on, it'll go 14. Putting it on the axle, instead of doing 14, we're at 96 right now, it goes up, oops. It won't mount it there because this wheel's in the way. So if I mount this, instead of going up 14, it went up 7, so it's half. So the axles will actually help when it comes to reducing the power load, which is one of the things you really got to be careful with. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to move this up. I'm going to move that. it's one shorter. Let's turn that wheel, and then change the version. I know it looks goofy, but right now it's what we got. Do that. The Zephyr wheels are nicer because they also have attachment points, front, back, and top. So removing these front two and replacing them with the Zephyr wheels give us additional attachment points that we can then use to brace some stuff up. Now, I don't like it when things get out of whack, so I gotta make sure it's all looks okay. What am I thinking here? It's a new style of light. I think that's kind of cool. The cabs do give off a headlight. They have a little headlight on them, but because the cab is behind all this stuff, these lights are really important. They are, if you look, it's gimbaled. It'll track wherever I'm pointing the gun, that's where the light will point. So yeah, you could have 2 or 3 pointing to the front, but honestly, one to the front, one to each side, and one to the back, that will give you light to cover each direction. This looks a little weird right now. We're gonna go with it though. And then the mining laser, I'm just gonna put it, raise it up just a bit. And now we can still use the mining laser as a weapon. But as the weapons and stuff move around, if their arc gets blocked, they won't shoot. So this will be interfered with by the light, and these stanchions, these two guns, as they swivel around, will interfere each other. The mining laser will interfere. You have to really consider a lot of the stuff that you're doing when it comes to placement. Now, I've got plenty of ammo. Can I make... Still doing these messages across the top. We need a silo. I'm gonna make one, even though we're about to go pick up several. Oh, and I don't think I made one. No. If you look next to the little power gauge on the left lower hand corner, you'll see it says, little wrench says 06. You don't get the repair charges until you build, again, the repair module. And that's what we got. So now you see that the machine, the base, it's not saying anything. There's no messages on it or anything. So let's put this around the back. Get it kind of out of the way. Well, we can put the silo back here. Open that up. We'll drop this stuff. And we have, so we should probably make some more ammo. We'll make 11 more because that's all we have. So we'll get that started right now. Now, if you look, the base now has, it says, get in there, yes, it says repair charges, and it's counting down, and once it counts down, we open it up, and we now have 6 repair charges. So we can do repairs to our tech while we're out in the world. Now we're going to wait a few minutes until the sun comes up. I should probably have changed the settings for that. We'll go ahead and get started. We'll give it a shot. See the light in the front. Actually, that one's not moving. It's odd. Yeah, that one moves. Okay, we'll stick with that. Like I said, if we put that like where the mining laser is, that light will actually track 360. Which is kind of cool. So let's just head over here anyway. Check our weapon groupings. So we blew this thing up earlier. It's gone. Won't come back. That's a lightning storm. There should be, I believe, 3 guys. See, we're having problems getting up the hill. Sliding. So let's go this way. Okay, get up here. See these things, I don't know why it does it up here. These things, they get in the middle of this stuff. Those Tesla things just destroy them. Been hurt, but I haven't been damaged enough to lose parts. Let's get him back up here a little. Actually, I did. I just repaired myself. Now that he's up here, his parts will fly off the side when he dies. Bunch of new modules there. Now, like I was saying, this is a enemy base. There is, well, light fixtures. I would love to have those. There's a silo right there, but you can't access it until you destroy. Where is it at? Nope, that thing right there. That right there. Blow that up. It makes the base vulnerable for attack. Yeah, and stay away from that. I've learned the hard way on more than one occasion. That's an area of effect. When it blows up hard and it hurts. So let's see what's in here. And then we're going to grab silo. Just for now, because we don't have room to come back, or we don't have room to grab this stuff. So we're going to have to come back for it. So again, just head back towards our little hovel. There's environmental hazards. Gravity's a thing. Water's a thing. It's actually funny. Actually, I'm going to go show you right now. I think it's hilarious. There were no modules before this update for boats. However, the techs themselves could float, and depending on which wheels you were using, they would go faster or slower. Now you can see the waves that are coming in, and then you see this, I can drive out here and you see it that changes color. That's when it goes into deep water. Before, I could drive across. It would take a while, but I could drive across. But now the boat parts, even though I'm pushing forward, the waves will push you back onto the shore. So watch me get out. See, I can't get out any further. It just won't let me go out further. No matter what it is I did, there are actual modules now for boat hulls, which I think is kind of cool. And I don't know about the flying. I've seen this and that I guess we'll just have to see what happens. Let's see. Let's get back over here. Again, any of this stuff. So I want that. Take some wine laser. And then sell it out. Let's put this stuff away. The gold wire is just a component that is required for certain things. You actually get the ability to make your own later. Just keep that. So it's saying to select this. Tech storage. So I have no idea what it's wanting us to do. Yeah, it's just telling us it's unlimited. So used to it used to be just you couldn't only put so many blocks in there. You had to build modules to get more space. But now you got as many as you want, but you also have to license them, which costs money. All right, let's see what it wants us to do now. Yeah, see, it's making that ammo and stuff for us. It's small silos. Yeah, see, we've already got that. As far as it's just telling us to do the repair module thing. Let's go up here. And grab some parts and pieces. One of the cool things about building in this is if you take out the support structures, everything above it will fall. And if you're in the way, it will smash you. Now, if we've got the room, we can just drive up on there and we will start picking stuff up. Let's grab this lamp. And then we can pull some of these up. And even the structure of the buildings blocks have alternate forms. See, these even though these are the same, are different, actually it's the same block. It has different shapes. So we're gonna grab the bigger ones. Grab 10. Take that. Okay, let's go ahead and head back down. Okay, like I said, I like to build over in this area. I just do. It's just where I've always built my base, at least when I start. Um, and I'm a little OCD, so a 5x5 base is necessary. You can zoom in and out. That blocks have snapping, so they will snap, but they only snap to those little white spots that you see. Stuff is just extra. Now, for now, I'm just gonna start stacking it all over here. Later on, we will get a new machine that will allow us to recycle this stuff, and you can get lost. I mean, it's resources, saves you from having to go out and start digging around in the mud for something. This isn't gonna work. Like these round parts that they put in here, they look like they serve some sort of purpose. I just can't, other than decorative, I just can't figure it out. But again, I haven't done a lot of the base building with these new modules, but I mean, they look cool. But right now, they're just a source of resources. Just grabbing all this. All right, well, got about an hour as far as this stream is concerned at this point. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to go ahead and we're going to call it, and we'll actually pick up next time when we're doing this stream like this walkthrough as we're playing it. Yeah, we'll just do that again. I'll set up a schedule for it and get it posted. But thanks everybody for coming out, and y'all have a nice night.